Dr. Lisa Ferrari is with us. She is a psychologist in Vancouver, deals a lot with youth and young people in her practice. And so we brought her in today to talk a little bit about Pink Shirt Day and bullying and things around it. And we were just talking off camera, and you were telling us some interesting facts. And a lot of people are under the impression that bullies are people with low self-esteem, and that's why they're lashing out. But you say there's a sort of a misconception around what all bullies are like.
Exactly. I mean, there's no typical profile of a bully.
Right.
But there is a myth out there that these are kids that have really low self-esteem. In fact, you know, the research has told us, and from what I've read and from what I hear, is that kids that actually have a lot of sort of self-confidence in the classroom and have sort of a following of kids kind of feel like they can kind of misuse their power a little bit to gain control over some of the other kids in certain situations that they themselves feel uncomfortable in.
Right.
And I've read some research where even just middle school kids actually view the bully as kind of cool.
So, but even if they are leaders, can they, and even though they portray self-confidence or exude self-confidence, can there still not be an underlying issue of self-esteem, some insecurities that that maybe play? And I guess every individual is different too.
Right. I mean, there is a piece around the social skills that socially they have a difficult time interpreting social cues, and so bullies tend to infer in certain ambiguous social situations that the person that they're targeting has actually done something to hurt them.
Right.
So they have a difficult time deciphering, let's say, a shove or a push in the hallway as being just that child's rush to get to class, and not that that child has intentionally pushed them.
Right.
Right. So part of the work with bullying, kids that bully, is to help them interpret social situations in ways in which kind of challenge their belief. Because if their belief isn't challenged, what they do is they retaliate.
Right.
Right? And they react with anger and aggression.
And it happens in the adult world as well. You know, people read emails or tweets or whatever it is, and all of a sudden take the wrong idea from something like that. So you're saying that social situation that adults have right now is literally starting in school.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We know that kids that bully have a really difficult time deciphering ambiguous social situations.
And we've also said, we've heard in the past that bullies were bullied themselves. Is that often the case, or is that another misconception?
I mean, I think it's a misconception. I mean, I think that there is some, awareness in terms of what's going on at home and how the adults in their world are reacting to situations.
Okay.
If there's a parent or a sibling who tend to react in situations and don't think twice, okay, is there another explanation that I can deem from this situation rather than just react in a negative way? That kind of modeling can influence a child's reactivity in social situations.
Now, you said something just before I went on the air I want to talk to you about, and that's you said about zero tolerance and how you address bullying.
Right. I mean, there is, there's another conception out there that we need to just use a zero tolerance strategy for dealing with bullying. However, what we tend to, the message is really what we gravitate towards is we're not going to tolerate it.
Right.
But what happens is that we don't get a more targeted intervention for the bully, where they can learn to deal with some of their cognitive distortions and help them look at these situations from a different perspective.
Right.
And then be able to ask themselves, okay, am I going to react, or is there another possibility here, and maybe I should ignore it.
Right.
Right? So the targeted intervention is sort of more of a one-on-one kind of therapy. We all like the message that a zero tolerance has. Suspension and expulsion sends the right message, but it's not going to help change behavior.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's really the most important thing.
That's essential.
Okay, thanks so much for coming in today. A nice pink shirt.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Lisa Ferrari, thank you again.
Thanks.